Yes, yes, yes. Let me make sure this thing is on and everything plug in and a work. Wagwan, ask Lisa Leggz with another timely message. This one is entitled Reverse Engineering Spiritual Warfare for the Win. Part 1. Today I'm going to take a mini dive, a quick dive. We're not going to go way too deep because, you know, some things are for the Ankle of Crew VIP, but I'm just giving y'all a taste because at the very minimum, it would behoove me not to share some of these basics, right? So when it comes to reverse engineering spiritual warfare, first you have to decide and know for yourself, what is spiritual warfare? Do you feel like you're experiencing spiritual warfare? Chances are that's a yes. When I look around at the world right now, I realize that for the most part, if you're a conspiracy theorist, you've heard this word before, psyop. For the most part, humans are being lied to. And someone lying to you is a form of spiritual warfare because they're attempting to distort your reality with their lies. See, we live in a world where ones are desensitized to what spiritual warfare actually is. For example, dating. Some people actually consider running game in dating normal. When in actuality, if you're lying to someone and presenting a fabricated facade, you're attempting to distort that person's reality. That's spiritual warfare. Let's be clear. See, I'm going to find the law and drop it in the description that back in the day in the US of A, you would be able to charge someone for lying to you and creating a distortion of your reality in the form of running game. You understand? Big up the Art of Healing Community Center family. We love the love and we love to anchor love, right? We also love to create the change we want to see in the world. This is a shameless plug because we're now activating a new location in Little Havana, aka West Brickell. Anyways, enough for the commercials. Someone sitting and dwelling on you. Right now, we're in an age of social media where people have access to your images very easily. And if someone dislikes you and despises you and they sit and they look on your page and all they can think is how much they despise you and dislike you, that's the evil eye. I know you've heard about the evil eye. That's the evil eye. Some people send the evil eye without even knowing it. So, if we consider all these things are spiritual warfare, let's not even talk about the war that they're waging our youth in the educational system. Let's not talk about the war that they wage on the divine feminine as they project these paradigms that as a woman, the only way you can advance in the world is if you backstab your sister. How many reality shows and how many movies do you see where women are forthright and walk in honor, self-love, and integrity? How many of them do grimy things? Sleep with other people, man. Even the woman that they place in a position of power in the media, in the movies, in the favorite TV show, doing some sneaky, nasty things. These are the things they spotlight. Since the beginning of the year, how many female musicians have been battling and talking crazy about another female musician? So now that we've established that we live in a world where spiritual warfare is rampant and overflowing, let's start to dissect the reverse engineering. Energy goes where attention flows. I'm going to break it down even more simply. By the way, this is the Light Heart Orbit. This is a work in progress. This is probably the third one that I've done. I keep rotating this globe right here for the heartstrings to emanate from another place. This one, the heartstrings are coming from South Florida. The first one I did, the heartstrings were coming from Jamaica. Hint, hint. Anyways, by the way, the instrumental you hear in the background is Time for Change. That's the next single that I'll be dropping. But we're going to stay on topic. Reverse engineering spiritual warfare for the win, part 1. I'm going to start by saying, as members of the animal kingdom, first of all, we're high-tech plants, right? But we are also members of the animal kingdom. We are. We are. We are also members of the animal kingdom, right? And that being said, our instincts are triggered by intuition. I'm going to say that again. Our instincts are triggered by intuition, meaning, for example, when you watch Animal Planet and the gazelle is grazing in the prairie, right? Upwind from, let's say, a lion, right? Isn't it funny how they always lift their head up as if they sense danger? And then they go back to eating? That is energy. Doesn't your intuition speak loudly sometimes? And sometimes you wonder, where's that coming from? And then the evidence makes itself apparent. Energy is a two-way street. If someone reaches out and touches you energetically, if you're self-aware, you can pick up on where that energy is coming from, who that energy is coming from, and what it is exactly they're doing. But to be able to position yourself to do that means you have to be self-aware, like the still surface of a pond, where you can pick up on any ripple on where it's coming from. Because if you ever went rock skipping, skipping rocks on water, if you've ever dropped anything, fill up a bowl with water, drop a penny in there. All the ripples will emanate outwards from the epicenter. Such it is when you are self-aware. You become like the still surface of the pond. And you can pick up on anything that ripples your surface and pick up where it's coming from, right? Some people feel their ears ringing. Some people feel their skin itching. For example, my name is Lisa Leggz. They call me that because I'm very legzilous at 6 foot tall. And what I've noticed is an unnatural itch where I catch myself scratching my skin so hard that I bleed. That is spiritual warfare that I'm picking up on. Somebody's bad mind, evil eye energy, or worse. So, to start reverse engineering spiritual warfare, one must build a firm foundation of I am. By the way, you like my press-ons? One must build a firm foundation of I am. Knowledge of self. True self-awareness with clarity. Yes, Cody. You have to acknowledge every time your ears ring and be still in the moment. Hold on, let me grab one of these totems that I have right here. Be still and know. So I have to go inside the settings and figure out how to make sure that the letters aren't flipped. If anybody is good at YouTube and know how to do that, help, please. I love to learn. That being said, be still and know. Be still on the inside so that anything that shifts on the outside, you're aware immediately. You overstand, understand, understand, popping on a handstand. And it would behoove me not to tell you the basic 101 in part one of the power of love to protect you. Gratitude is your shield. Joy is your force field. Right? So if you are in a firm foundation of, you will literally create a bubble around yourself with that joy and that gratitude. Love and happiness. Very important. Muy, muy importante. Right? So when you're filled with joy, you're not easily moved. When you're filled with gratitude for everything happening for you, right? Because that's the perspective, that things happen for you, not to you. It happens to bring you closer to yourself and more in tune with yourself and to activate more of yourself, right? You will begin to start noticing patterns in yourself. You ever feel tired out of nowhere as soon as you decide that you want to do something like take a leap of faith on yourself or bet on yourself? You ever decide you're about to do something real good, real nice? You ever start telling somebody some good news and all of a sudden something inside you tell you to shut up? Stop telling them this good news. Or somebody ever ask you a whole bunch of questions and you feel like they're violating your privacy? Or you feel like you're being forced to speak? Pay attention to these things. Pay attention to your instincts and your intuition. And the more you listen, the stronger those muscles get as you hone them. This is how you strong arm yourself in this spiritual war, because we're not fighting people, we're fighting principalities and powers. Like the movie The Matrix, when Agent Smith said anybody could be an agent at any given time, right? Right? That being said, this is only part one. We've only just begun. The rest is not over, right? The Uncle of Crew VIP will receive the rest of this message. I will continue to build on this topic because it's very important in this time. We will talk about protecting yourself in the dream, the astral realm from spiritual warfare. We'll talk about picking up exactly on the energetic trail and following that two-way street. Because if somebody have the audacity to do their dibble-dabbling, cauldron stirring and try to reach out and touch you, remember, energy is a two-way street. And I'm not saying reach out and touch them, but I'm saying you can be aware of them through that reverse engineering and figure out what they're doing and use it if you feel like you're affected to heal yourself. But I'm telling you one thing right now, that word sound science power, that breath, that speak life into yourself. Speak protection over yourself. You understand? Claim it and proclaim it loudly. Say it with your chest and say it with your breath accordingly. Because that confidence is everything. That's why it's important to nurture ourselves and our confidence so that we might step out in our own divine authority. Because as you live and breathe, you're here for a reason. Your purpose is important. Anchor love. As I anchor love, I find that the anchoring of love helps me to weather any storm. As I anchor love, and it enables me to maintain my equilibrium and not stoop to their level. I realize that pisses them off even more. As I anchor love, I realize that the more they attack me, the stronger I get. The power of love knows no bounds. And remember, kindness is greater than niceness, and even more powerful and truthful because tough love is a thing. And sometimes the truth might hurt, but it sets you free. Awareness is important. As soon as you're aware of a thing, it loses its power. Be confident in the knowledge of self, the love of self, and the awareness of self as you go forth in this terrain. And just as a heads up, this lunar eclipse on March 25th, that 4-4 portal on April 4th is equivalent to the running up into a quantum leap for that eclipse on April 8th. So don't let the fear mongering and the sensationalized journalism, aka the spiritual warfare, take you out of your joy. And if you love the Bible, there's a Proverbs that says, a merry heart does the body good like a medicine, and a grievous spirit dries the bones. So what does that mean about the power of love and gratitude as your shield, your force field, and your weapons in this spiritual war? Laugh, sing, dance in their faces, and show them that you will not be moved. You see me? Gratitude. It's an honor to serve. And remember, right here on the Ask Lisa Leggz channel, yours truly, Lisa Leggz, will be bringing the daily affirmation Anchor Love Crew message around 8-9 a.m. Eastern. We're flowing. It's flowing as we lock in the time slot by grace. All roads